For thousands of years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has stood as one of humanity's most extraordinary achievements. But among all its mysteries, one detail stands out above everything else. The pyramid is aligned almost perfectly to true north, with an error of only 0.67 degrees. To put that into perspective, that's a margin so small that even with modern technology, GPS, satellite imaging, laser-guided engineering, we would still struggle to match it. Yet the Egyptians achieved this 4,500 years ago, using tools made of wood, copper, and stone. How is that even possible? And why did they care so much about perfect alignment? This is the story of one of the most precise constructions ever built by human hands, and the mystery that still puzzles scientists today. The Great Pyramid isn't just big, it's engineered with a level of mathematical accuracy that feels almost impossible. Each of its four sides faces a cardinal direction, north, south, east, and west. But its alignment to true north is what truly astonishes researchers. Not magnetic north, which shifts over time, but true, absolute geographic north, determined by the Earth's axis. How accurate is the pyramid? Imagine drawing a perfect line around the Earth from pole to pole. Now imagine missing that line by only a few centimeters. That's roughly the scale of precision we're talking about. And the Egyptians did this without telescopes, without compasses, without metal instruments capable of fine calibration. So how? To understand their achievement, it helps to eliminate what people think they used. They didn't use a compass. It wouldn't exist for another 2,000 years. They didn't use magnets, irrelevant for true north anyway. They didn't use any known written method, because no papyrus or carved instruction manual has ever been found detailing the process. And they certainly didn't guess. So historians turned to the sky. Because if compasses didn't exist, the Egyptians must have used the heavens. But how accurate could those methods truly be? One of the strongest theories suggests that Egyptian astronomers used circumpolar stars, the stars that never set, rotating endlessly around the north celestial pole. These stars were sacred to the Egyptians because they represented eternity. They were called the undying ones. The idea goes like this. By watching two circumpolar stars cross a vertical line at different times of the night, the Egyptians could mark a perfect north-south line on the ground. This method is clever and scientifically valid. But there's a complication. The Earth's precession, or wobble, slowly shifts the position of the celestial pole over thousands of years. So the stars used would not always point exactly north. Still, the alignment is so precise that many experts believe star observation was part of the method, but not the whole story. Another theory says they used the sun. At noon, the sun casts the shortest shadow of the day. By tracking that shadow over weeks or months, surveyors could plot a nearly perfect north-south line. Simple, elegant, and surprisingly accurate. But again, not accurate enough to explain the 0.067 degree perfection of the Great Pyramid. To reach that precision, the measurements would have required hundreds of days of observation without the slightest mistake. So while this may have helped, it still doesn't solve the entire puzzle. Some researchers believe the Egyptians used a combination of methods: stellar observations at night, solar measurements during the day, massive leveling systems using water-filled trenches, mirrors, or polished copper plates for long-distance sighting. Teams of surveyors cross-checking each other's work. Egyptians were master surveyors. They built straight roads, perfect right angles, and symmetrical temples centuries before the pyramid was constructed. But still, the pyramid's alignment remains unmatched. Even the second and third pyramids at Giza are astonishingly accurate, suggesting the Egyptians had a standardized and highly efficient method we no longer understand. Today, engineers analyze the Great Pyramid with advanced tools: laser scanning, satellite imagery, 3D reconstruction. And the more we study it, the stranger it becomes. Because even with all our modern resources, building a structure of this size with such precision would be incredibly difficult today, especially using only manual labor. The alignment alone would require long-range optical equipment, exact timekeeping, cross-referenced astronomical charts, and precise leveling tools. The Egyptians achieved all of this with nothing but geometry, observation, and ingenuity. That's why many experts say the pyramid was not just a tomb, it was a scientific instrument, an architectural masterpiece, and possibly even a symbolic map of the cosmos. So how did they do it? We may never know the full answer, but what we do know is this. The Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the most precisely aligned structures ever built in human history, ancient or modern. A monument so perfect that it transcends time, technology, and understanding. And until we uncover the method Egyptians used, the pyramid will continue to stand as a silent challenge, a message carved in stone from a civilization far more advanced than we ever imagined. If you're fascinated by mysteries like this, subscribe, because there are many more ancient secrets waiting to be uncovered.